Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk to Tony Friend about a recent move from Seattle to bourbon country. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Tony Friend, Dana the Dreamer 6, Jason Bronner, and Will Whitfield.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey.
So we're going to have a fun show today. It's just such a big life-changing, and especially, I think, particularly interest to our audience, because probably a lot of people at some point, if you don't live in bourbon country and you're a bourbon fan, at some point you're probably thinking about moving there. You know, how can I make this my home? Because you go there, you have fun. So we've got someone who's going to be able to talk about that. A guy who just loves bourbon and specifically pursued it. This wasn't an accident that he ended up there. It's something that he was looking to do. We've also got a unique perspective. We've got Will Whitfield, who lives in Seattle. He'll be able to talk about what they're talking about in Seattle now that Tony's left, what they're saying. So I'm sure the city is abuzz with this move, and he'll be able to bring that perspective. He's like our on-site reporter, so it'll be fun. We'll get to that though after the break. For right now, Dana the Dreamer 6 said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Dana?
Yeah, so I know Tony's a pretty big pet lover and things like that, but I've just wondered, have you guys ever wanted to have an exotic or dangerous animal as a pet? And if so, what was it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you think about these things. I mean, I like cats, so I'd like to have a tiger at some point, but that's not going to happen. But it'd be cool because you see them. If you go to the zoo, seriously, if you own cats, and you go to the zoo, you see a lot of the exact same behaviors. The mannerisms are the same, how they react to things. And you're just like, gosh darn, that's kind of cool. I'd like to have, that guy in the house. So I don't know. That's definitely something that you think about. But it's not going to happen though. Yeah.
Especially, I think, like cat lovers, when we see like the big, any of those big cats and they do something cute and you're like,
right. That's exactly how my cat does it.
I'm sure that they're not even mean. I'm sure that they'd be very,
right.
They'd like me though. I'm sure they wouldn't kill me.
Right. Yeah, that's what I always think too. I was like, yeah.
But exotic pets, I mean, not exotic, but I always tell Royce that we're going to get a possum.
That's kind of exotic, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be interesting. I have no idea what this possum would be like. And
it'd be nice. They're all nice.
Are they?
Yes, they're very sweet animals.
You said you can train it to use a litter box or something?
Yeah, say they're actually pretty smart. And they're actually like really affectionate.
They just always look so mangy. Yeah, they
look mangy because they have just the little fluffy hairs that stick out.
They got mange.
Yeah, and they have mange.
Guess what, Jason? You could get mange. So I mean, it's it's just a thing that animals. It's a thing that animals.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Jason's talking up. So, Jason, any desire for an exotic pet?
My most exotic pet was a Rottweiler, and her name was China, and she was completely awesome. So, and it's like having a tiger,
right?
But, she would eat people if I asked her to.
Wow.
But other than that, she was great around kids and whatever. I mean, I trained her to where, a little kid would walk, just happen onto her food bowl and she'd just turn her head and walk away. So,
yeah.
But then, you just say, hey, go ahead and eat somebody. And she probably would.
Yeah.
So, I was a huge fan. I'm not a cat fan. I don't cats.
You think eventually, though, you may own a distillery at some point. Then you may have to have a cat. They're helpful. They're helpful, man. I'm not kidding you.
I know. I might just have to pay more in the pet control bills.
All right. Will, how about you, man? Any exotic pet ideas ever?
I was literally sitting here just racking my brain. What I have no fascination to having something that will eat me. Not at all. Honestly, I with watching a lot of the animal things, I mean, it'd be cool to see some animals like penguins and things like that up front and have one. I don't know if I want to maintain or keep one at all. Like,
penguin would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have a group of them.
Oh yeah, you go to your morning shower and you realize, oh shit, the penguin's in the bathtub again. Damn you.
I don't think you can litter box train a penguin though, unfortunately.
I don't know. It's smaller than me. I don't worry about it actually biting my face off. I think I got some control over the situation. That's what I'm thinking.
It always smells bad.
They smell bad, and two, you feel like you'd be too dressed down because at home you like to relax, and he's all suited up. I mean, he's in a tuxedo. I think you'd be uncomfortable all the time, Will.
It would be an awkward deal, but listen, they'll be in place when I do any kind of catering gig. I can train them to actually serve. Like, yo, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Butlers.
Yeah. Get a little, how like a butler would have like the towel across his arm. You could have that across his little wing. And that'd be
I have a game of them.
House extremely cold.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Your house would have to be cold. That'd actually be a plus.
Yeah, I like how Will said that he's never having an exotic animal, but then he went, I actually have a whole team of penguins.
I've never even heard of someone who wanted a penguin as a pet before, so that's pretty exotic, I'd have to say.
Okay, maybe there's some thought with that. I'm sorry.
All right. Tony, how about you, man?
I don't know. As a kid, I've always kind of wanted like a little pet chimpanzee.
Oh yeah.
I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that in like the old movies and stuff, and it always looks cool. But in reality, I think they're a tough pet to have.
It's a nightmare.
It looks fun.
The news. People get their face ripped off from those. They get big.
Yeah.
They can wear diapers and throw dung.
Oh yes, that's a problem.
Steve, at least our tigers won't be throwing dung at us. We'll be fine with our tigers, other than us getting mauled to death. But there won't be any dung being flown.
True. Yeah.
That's the guys in Vegas. That guy.
Siegfried and Roy. Yeah, Siegfried and Roy. Yeah.
I mean, I would trust my life with that guy, and he got drug around by a tire. If he's doing it, I'm out.
You're out. Okay. All right. How about you, Dana? You asked the question, so clearly this is something that's been on your mind. So what do you got?
So I'm currently just absolutely obsessed with llamas. And even on my way to work, someone has a llama farm, and then the llamas have had a little baby llama. And so I ride by everyone. I was like, baby llama. And I don't know. I would want a llama, even though they look like they got a little bit of dirt, but they're so cute.
Oh yeah. They spit in your face.
Alpaca.
Yeah.
I feel like with there's the llamas and there are alpacas. I feel like llamas are mean and kind of assholes, where like alpacas seem like they're very nice, sweet pets.
Yeah.
Alpaca I could do. Llama, we'll get one to range around in front of our house and chase things off because they can be mean.
Yeah.
That or an ostrich or something. No.
I read that book. I read that book to my kids. My mama's a llama, so it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm have an affinity for llamas.
Okay. Let's see. Now Jason's getting interesting. I doubt, Beka. I doubt you could get the llama. For some reason, Royce has an aversion to birds. Remember, you said all these pets you want to get. He's fine with each one. You're ticking off this big turtle and all these things. The possum. But then you were like, I want to get a crow. He's like, no way. Oh no.
Lost it over the crow.
Right. Yeah. Which I thought was one of the more normal ones of some of the things you came up with. But
a crow, say a crow. I mean, like they're also pretty.
They're intelligent birds.
They're really smart and they remember everything too, which is good or bad.
This
they remember if you were mean to them. They also remember if you were very nice to them.
Seems like that might be a problem for Royce.
Yeah. That's what I need in the house, Akeley. Something else that remembers everything.
like his life.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll still make a pitch for that. And if let me know, we've got a GoFundMe campaign, you're ready to go. I just have to push send on it to get you guys Dr. James Crow. So, yes. So
we do apparently have some sort of pet outside right now, because I keep finding murdered small rodents left for us on our driveway. I found 5 dead mice one day that their heads ripped off. I found a dead vole another day. Then another day I found a small weasel. So we do have some sort of exotic pet right now. There is a groundhog outside. That's
get a trail cam. You need one of those trail cams.
We have cameras outside, but at nighttime they're not bright. Like you can't see. So I guess a trail cam has
a trail cam would work though. Yeah, that's the difference.
There is a groundhog though that I see outside a lot, and I'm not sure that he's up to the task of murdering all these other animals.
No, those things are usually pretty fat, so they're not chasing down anything. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There's our exotic pet desires. And I think the group came up with some pretty good ones there. I was surprised at some of those. So it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Tony, since it's his big show today. Tony, what are you drinking there, man?
I'm celebrating my big move with some hometown Woodinville single barrel cask strength bourbon.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow. That was really good. That's going to be tough to beat.
Winner.
Yeah.
I want to do my good one right now.
Yeah, go ahead and get your screw tops, gang. Everybody's shuffling now, knocking themselves down to get a screw top. All right, Dana, the Dreamer 6. What do you got?
So I went to the liquor store yesterday because I only had like 2 bottles in that have corks, and then I actually found this little one. It's the Southern Bourbon whiskey.
Oh yeah,
and
the birthday bourbon wannabe there. It's from the shadows in your brain. I was like, what? Dana got a birthday bourbon?
No, I kept seeing y'all post it, and I was like, this is my wannabe.
Right.
But I love this, so we'll give it a go. Jeez.
That was it?
There's nothing there. All those noises and squeaks and sound like a door opening. And but we came for the pop. There was nothing. There was literally
the squeak
nothing.
was the buildup.
Yeah. All right. Will, there you go. Believe it or not, Tony still has the lead.
Justified.
I'm keeping it simple today. Just got some Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Just sipping on that for this one. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's decent for a well-loved bottle, but not going to be enough to take over.
Yeah.
That's only there. Let's go to Jason Bronner. Jason, what do you got?
I've got some Michter's American whiskey.
Okay. Not enough. I'll go next. We'll leave Beka to the last one to correct. I've just got Jefferson's single barrel here, so very basic one. Here we go. That was better than I thought it was going to be. I was, I could have won some shows with that. Not going to win this one because Tony had a big cannon blast. So, so Beka, you're the last one to go. What do you got?
All right. I've got a bottle that I dipped myself with Steve.
Oh yeah, we just did that.
Maker's 46. Let's see what it does.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. We're gonna go to a judge here. I'm gonna go to Will. And we're going to put the onus on you, Will. You're going to have to make a call here. They were both very loud, a little bit different. Beka's was higher pitched. It's a smaller bottle, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but
so I would say it was louder. It was louder,
Yeah.
I think. It hit new depths in terms of loud, but Tony's was deeper based.
It had a
it was loud with
man.
So what do you think? This is tough.
This is tough. As much as I wanted I'm gonna say
No pressure.
no pressure at all. Okay, Tony, that it had a light. I'm gonna go with Tony because it had the bass, but man, that pop was nice.
They were both good.
They
were both good.
Let's go with Tony. Let's go Tony's.
I think Tony's was actually, yes.
Tony's was it.
I like Tony's.
So there you go. Cheers to Tony. Yeah, you win.
Cheers.
With the solo cup.
Yeah, solo cup. All right, there you go. All right, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk to Tony about this big move. You know, the fact that he's a bourbon fan, now living in bourbon country. We'll talk about that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Many of you have perhaps heard of Leatherwood via our co-host on the Bourbon Daily, Kaylee Baker, who works there. Well, they're now an official sponsor of the network, and we look forward to everyone getting to know a little bit more about them. Company founder Andrew Lang brought his brewing and distilling hobby with him during his years of service as a Green Beret in the United States Army. Whether he was at his home base of Fort Campbell or during tours of duty in places like Italy or Afghanistan, Lang distilled whatever was available to him locally. We are excited about getting to know Andrew Lang and his team better via our programming and are planning a trip down there for the ABV Network crew very soon. In the meantime, check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com, where they will ship bottles directly to you, including their special Remembering 9/11 series, which is raising money for military charities. Seriously, get out there, buy some bottles, help a good cause, and let us know what you think. We're really excited about this partnership. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
This is also Freddie Mills going underneath the alias of Danny Kennard. You can find me on Facebook at any time. Just look up Danny Kennard, but I am Freddie Mills. Trust me.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Tony about his big move to Kentucky.
All right, Tony, we'll give everybody a chance to ask you a question about this. And I think we need to set it out. I'll lob you the first one. And just tell us about, this and how it happens. And I know in its most basic form, it's just a matter of, hey, I'm leaving one area and I'm going to a new one. But there's more to it than that. You've got family up, where you're moving from. You got a job where you live. Now you got to change up. So there's a lot that kind of goes into making a big move like that. So tell us a little bit about what kind of made you decide to ultimately make this big jump.
Yeah, so it all kind of started about 5 years ago. I went back to school, finished my 2-year degree, continued online, and I finished my bachelor's degree last December. I had a job, a good paying job in Seattle, company, loved where I worked. This year would have been, I would have been there 14 years this year. So been there a long time, but just kind of looking to move on to something bigger and better. And I thought traveling out here is a lot cheaper. It's easier to travel, by car than in Seattle. And I thought if I'm going to make a career change, try out a new area in the United States.
Yeah. Well, I got to respect you for that because so many times, you don't do it because you feel those things that are tying you down, and then you don't do it, and then it becomes even harder. The longer you don't do it, the harder it becomes because you're more and more locked in. So to actually, have this desire to do that, like I said, many bourbon fans have probably thought about that, but you start thinking, well, I don't know, I got this. Here's the reasons why. You start making that list of why you can't. And I'm sure you had to go through that process. I'm sure, it's not an easy decision, but to do it, I think is really cool. So congrats on the big move.
Thank you.
Jason, what do you want to ask about this big move from Seattle to Kentucky?
I've met Tony a couple times. He's been in the restaurant once or twice, I think. I think we saw each other at the Bourbon Fest, New Orleans. I just wondered, you got to kind of wonder when you upset all of your roots. I know you, but I don't know everything about you. Like, what do you do? You have a job that you can just uproot and come to town, come to our, and what part of Kentucky you moved to? I've got a ton of questions for Tony.
Sure.
As far as, what fueled this and what line of work you're in, which I don't know, unfortunately, but I know we've met and we've conversed.
Yeah, he can share that. He works in an industry that is needed anywhere, in the country, which is kind of cool, right, Tony? So tell us, answer those first couple of questions for Jason, and we'll let Jason ask all the questions you'd like, but we'll start with those first two, what you do for a living, and then where ultimately that you've moved to, and even if you can share the company information too that you moved to. I don't know whether you can or not, but if you can, feel free. We'd like to hear it.
Yeah, so I work in an industry where it's needed everywhere. So I'm in accounting. So every business needs accounting. So worked in the manufacturing in Seattle for food processing machinery. It translates very well into bourbon with tanks and conveyors and all that type of stuff. But really, I can move into any industry that I want with my accounting background, which is nice.
So, what obviously you have researched, and do you have a job here and are you moving to Louisville, Lexington, or
Oh yeah, no. So I was interviewing in different places in Kentucky and Nashville area and Indianapolis, and found a job in Harrodsburg for a whiskey bottling company.
Wow.
Interviewed with them a few times. They gave me a great offer. I came down and checked it out, and 2.5, 3 weeks later, I was there.
Oh, wow. Very cool. So we get to see you more often than here. That's just awesome. And was it for your love of bourbon to move to Kentucky, or just did you want something new? Because I know that you're a huge fan of bourbon, and I want to know what the move is about.
Yeah, so I wasn't necessarily looking to get into the bourbon industry. I was just looking to move to Nashville, Kentucky, Indianapolis, just because I can travel easier and get to different bourbon events, and it's cheaper living out here. And just happened to be of course, looking in Kentucky, you're going to find many bourbon jobs. So just happened to be at a bottling place.
Very cool.
Wow. That's says something about the industry and about you for just wanting to move here and getting into the industry. I know you're a big fan of bourbon. It's just, it's exciting. The tentacles that this has put out is just unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. Dana, what do you want to know about this big move?
First of all, it's so cool. And as someone who works in HR, I've always been fast friends with the people in accounting. But just on a completely side note, has Kentucky felt like home just with this past week's weather? Because it's been super wet here. I feel like it's kind of went up to you guys, or have you got any of that?
The rain here is definitely different than it is Seattle. When it hits hard. You have to slow down, put on your hazards lights, and I've never, ever seen that in Seattle.
Really?
In Seattle, it's just a light drizzle. It's never rained that hard.
Yeah. Kentucky, when it pours,
it
is pouring out, and you can't even see out of your window because it's raining. It's really like there's just a bucket of water pouring on your car. And
Yeah, and just wait for winter. I mean, it's probably better maybe up there, but down here it's like, no, we camping out at home. It's not happening.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. That's a whole nother thing that's it's totally different for Tony. The climate and things like that. So yeah, you got to get at least a full season, full year's worth of seasons under his belt before he can really know what to expect. So that'll be interesting. Will,
yeah,
go
super
ahead, Dan.
cool of you to have the courage to move across country, because I mean, I've just went one county over and I'm like culture shock. You went clear across the country. So that's just amazing that you've had the courage and the strength to do that, and kind of like jealous that you're going to be in the bourbon business.
Yeah. I think that, making a move to doing something that you love, I'm just a big proponent of that.
Absolutely.
And again, Tony's not bashing his old job. I think he liked his old job.
Yeah, I love my old job.
Right. But to make a move that kind of has it all, then it has the place, the area that you love to go to, vacation, spend your free time, and now to put yourself in the middle of that, I think it's really a cool thing. All right, Will, what do you want to know?
It's funny. I see similarities. Some of you guys know my background story. So I moved from St. Louis to Seattle a few years back.
That was a mistake, but
I won't argue that right now. But coming from the Midwest and being raised in the Midwest and South, family in Mississippi, Kentucky, you have this Southern hospitality, and then going to the West Coast, there's a whole different feel. And there's I guess it's called the Seattle freeze. So what I want to know from you is the vice versa. How have you adjusted to that hospitality that comes with the Midwest and South versus that kind of, there's this friendliness but there's a standoffishness that comes with the Northwest. It's totally different. There is some good, I've made some great friends out this way, but it could be a little bit intimidating if you're not raised around
this is interesting.
that hospitality. You're raised around it. It can be overwhelming. Like, whoa, why are you speaking to me? Why do you? So how have you adjusted to that, Tony?
Yeah, that's actually very easy, because every time that I've come over here to this area and, down in Tennessee and up in Indianapolis, everyone's just so welcoming, so nice, and it just makes it easy to move down here,
Yeah, that's really cool.
I will say that's the one thing I do miss about being in the Midwest and the South is where everybody stands. Mm-hmm. It's everybody is hospitable, and no matter if there's a discord, everyone still says good morning. Everybody still wave and how you doing. That's still there.
Yeah.
That is it's a whole different vibe, different flavor of people. So like I said, it could be a little overwhelming if you're not used to it, because everyone does it. Everyone's and get used to yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir.
Yeah, it's
no,
not
sir.
offensive here. It's respectful.
It's respectful. It's just how everybody's raised. Just don't take offense to it. That's all. That's my advice. Don't take offense to it. Just accept it, even if they're younger than you. It's just, even if they're older or younger, they're going to say it out of respect to you as a person.
Cool. Beka, what do you want to know? And it's interesting because you've done this as well, but you're a year ahead of Tony.
I'm a veteran at this point.
You could be Tony's mentor in this.
Exactly. Yes. Any questions you have, what you need to do, Tony, you just come right to me. I've been in Kentucky for a year and a half now, so I know it all at this point.
There you go. Yeah.
What questions do I have? Have you gotten to do anything exciting since you've been here from your move? I know you've obviously been in Kentucky numerous times before, but what's something exciting that you've gotten to do since you officially moved here, or something that it was kind of on your Kentucky bucket list? Like when I came here, I didn't have a Kentucky bucket list because I never even thought I was going to move to Kentucky ever. I never thought about it. I never considered it. And then I decided to marry Royce, and then I lived here. But I did some random things. I went to the Ark. We went to the Kentucky Horse Museum, or the horse park, just the other day, and we rode horses there. Went to Mammoth Cave. We've gotten to do some like cool things that are like
Bourbon's Bistro, Jason said.
And yeah,
yes,
Bourbon's Bistro.
Of course,
that was on the top of my list when I moved to Kentucky. But is there anything that like you just really want to do that's like a Kentucky thing other than drink a lot of bourbon and go to distilleries and stuff, obviously. But I want to know like what your excitement thing has been so far.
Well, it's going to be pretty boring. So I'm currently taking my online MBA class. So I've been super busy with that, trying to coordinate that with the move. And the company that I'm working for is in transition period where we have a new general manager and me. So I've been busy creating my accounting role because they had no one in accounting. So I've just been working, trying to get my schoolwork done, trying to find a place to live, finally get kind of settled in.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I didn't do anything at all because it was right at the beginning of COVID. And also we were doing full-blown hand sanitizer. So we didn't do anything because we didn't have time to do anything. And really, I didn't even do anything until one of my friends came here to visit. And then that's who I went to the ARC. Well, I went to ARC with one of them. I went to Math Cave with another one. And the only reason I went was because I had some friends that showed up and I was like, oh, I got to take them somewhere that's somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I even got to go.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah, Tony, I'm sure you'll get plenty of that too, as your friends that you've built up, through online community for years. Now you're living here. I'm sure your phone will be ringing at some point. Hey, I'm coming through town. Can I stay at your place? So that'll be a cool thing, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What kind of setup do you have? Like a spare bedroom, and is there like a good area to podcast in there?
Careful
Yeah.
what you say.
No one's allowed.
Because Steve is
searching.
Yeah, say Steve's just poking around trying to stay at your house sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
I have no furniture, nothing. I just have a table and a chair and a bed. That's it.
That's it. That's what you got, right?
Sorry, Steve.
Okay. Yeah, darn it. Well,
hell, the Bourbon's Bistro. I mean, Steve just needs a couch and his own room there.
I don't need much. Yes, Jason can attest to that. I stayed at the Bourbon's Bistro many, many times just with a couch and really nothing else. So, yeah, shower that only had cold water. Apparently, that's fixed now, though. So, yeah,
it is fixed. So it's ready for you.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, there's nothing like being there in December and there's only cold water. I felt he was doing that on purpose because he's like, we'll get this guy out of here. So, yeah. Very cool. But Tony, again, I think it's really cool what you're doing. And are you looking forward? It sounds like you're really busy, personal life and professional life at this point. But are you looking forward to just being able to do bourbon things, whether it's going over and getting a gift shop pick and going to small bourbon events? I mean, you'd fly in for the big stuff, for the big meetings like the Bourbon Festival and stuff like that. But now it'll be just a pop up. If there's a dinner at Bourbon's Bistro, you put that on the calendar and go to that. Is that something you're really looking forward to?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm finally getting into kind of a normal routine at work. It was real busy at first with the transition. There was no one in accounting. So I had to just come in and I jumped right in and was working nonstop and finally settling down. And hopefully I can get out and hang out with some people.
Very cool. Very cool. So we'll wrap this up by talking about where people can find us, because I think people want to follow Tony's journey. If they don't know Tony already, they certainly should, put him down on the list. So we're going to have you kick it off on the links. It's your show. So Tony, where can people find you?
You can find me in Kentucky practicing my y'all, and you can find me on Instagram at Glass of Whiskey 86.
All right. Dana the Dreamer 6.
I'll be ready for Tony to get back to his super fabulous people watching videos, and you can find me as Dana the Dreamer 6 on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Will, how about you?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at SLOMO. So SLO_MO_QUE.
All right. Jason.
It is, I am, the Bourbon Redneck on Instagram, and then Buzzard's Roost and Bourbon's Bistro is on all the media platforms.
Man, he's getting good at this. Beka, you remember when we used to bring Jason on and he couldn't do his plugs at all? He'd be like, I don't know. So now he's polished now. He's got it down. So,
I recall.
Yeah. He was one of those, where can you find you? He'd be like, I'm at the bar drinking.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Beka, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. We put all of our virtual events. Those are out there. We've got our shop, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Becca, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps when people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.